Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And something that I forgot to include in the original live stream coverage video was the skill fusions that are coming with the Primal Demon meta. So I figured I'd just do this and we'll put it out the next day or something, because they're not super crazy, but there's definitely more than just the one unit like we had last month with the first anniversary Rimuru. So we have Diablo, Dark Diablo, Space Rain. There's also a third Dark Diablo, but he already got a skill fusion, so we don't worry about that. They seem to be moderately okay, actually. So we'll start with the half anniversary Diablo. So currently, the skill that is changing is his alt buff. So currently it's 15 points, and it's just an 80% alt buff for himself for one turn. Now they're adding a 25% magic attack buff on top of it, which, I mean, is fairly good, right? It just means that he will do more damage. And the cost does not increase. So I think that's a fine skill fusion. Like, he's a very old unit, right? He's 2 years old almost at this point. So he's not going to be doing super incredible, amazing damage to begin with. But in a Primal Demon meta, he is certainly, serviceable enough to do something as like a sub DPS character now because he's not EX. But, it's not a bad skill. His second skill is absolute trash, though. His own counterattack rate and counter power, which means, you have to pray that he gets hit first off. But that's not skill fusing. So Diablo's skill fusion, I think, is a W for the most part. It doesn't add value to putting him on other teams unless he's going to act as a sub DPS, and ideally on a decent team you will already have an alt buffing character. Like the Primal Demon team already has Guy and Jean, who are going to match or exceed what Diablo is doing for himself as far as alt damage is concerned. And with the Primal Demon meta being physical, he will be at a disadvantage anyways because they have a butt ton of magic resistance in the beatdown battle. But hey, it is what it is. Physical unit, Space Rain. Her skill fusion is going to be on her instant damage skill. So Bloody Rain right here deals 300% basic space physical attack to all targets. If you've never used an instant damage character, it is literally just you press the button and it does damage. So you don't have to wait for turns. You don't have to send orbs. You can do this and then do other things in your turn. It's just immediate. Boom. Awesome. But she used to hurt herself for a quarter of her own HP, which doesn't really help you all that much. Well, thankfully, they took that away. So they just took away the entire, self-damaging part, and instead they gave her guaranteed crits for one turn, which is crazy to think about. Like, this isn't Guy, where you're buffing the entire team and it's an 80-point skill. No, this is straight up just 15 points, you do instant damage, cool, whatever. It may do a lot, it probably won't do a lot. But then every attack she does after that is a guaranteed crit for 15 points. And she is a space physical unit, which this beatdown battle that is coming later on today is geared towards space physical enemies. So this could actually be fairly good, except for the fact that the beatdown battle seals crit. So, excellent. This is like the same thing as what they did with the first anniversary Rimuru and Tempest Elite. You gave them crit, or they have something to do with crit, but then the beatdown battle doesn't want you to crit in some way, shape, or form. So it's like, really? Is that really the best skill you could have given her? I don't know. Verdict's out on her. I'm sure she can be useful as an AoE sub DPS. The instant damage again won't do too much, and then her second skill, crit damage doesn't mean a lot if you're not critting to begin with, and then space resistance down I think goes up to 25%. But I mean, if you're bringing Jean, she's got 50% space resistance down, so yeah, it's debatable how good this Space Rain will actually be. Like, the fact that you could just instant damage over and over and over and over and over and over again with the new Protector Violet is kind of funny, but I'm sure these enemies are going to have a literal butt ton of HP. So you're not going to be killing them with instant damage over and over again, unless you literally sit there for hours and hours doing it. And then the final character is the first anniversary Diablo, who, when he came out, made no sense at all, because the first anniversary meta was, Veldora and Princess Milim, and they're magic focused, and Veldora is buffing magic attack. This Diablo is physical. I have no idea what they were smoking when he came out. He was not a good character. He was built for Valor Cup because Valor Cup had just started, but he still wasn't really all that good either. So he used to do his own attack 25%, and then he gave himself 25% alt gauge. Well, he gives himself 40% alt gauge now, which, I mean, sure, fine, whatever. But they changed his attack buff from normal attack to physical attack for 35%. Why did they do that, you ask? Well, it's very simple. Because Dark Milim's skill fusion gives all allies, or all dark allies, a 25% attack buff. So if we go down here, and we go to Milim, 70% alt damage increases all dark allies' attack by 25%. That would just, be the same thing as what he would be giving himself now. So by changing it to being physical attack, he now gets this buff right here. He gets a different buff here. He gets extra alt gauge. So, I mean, it does make him a little bit more versatile on the team he was meant to be ran with, but also not ran with, because Veldora still ain't buffing him, because a physical Diablo doesn't give two craps about magic damage. So he still doesn't make too much sense. But, I mean, these are very old units. And I wouldn't say their skill fusions are incredible, amazing, oh my god, they are now the gods of the game again, which I really wish this is what they did with skill fusions. There are scant few units that actually benefit a lot from skill fusions. One of them is Water Soe, with his attack down and defense up skill. Awesome. Autogram Lumi, she got an extra 20% on her stacking alt buff. That's pretty handy. Light Shizu has attack down and 80% chance to guard for 2 turns. That's pretty good. Like, there are some skill fusions that legitimately, change the unit and their viability in a lot of content. And then you get, these, where they're okay, and they certainly make them better than what they were, but it also doesn't really bring them too much more usefulness. Like, instant damage is not a thing anymore. It was a thing for, a meta and a half, and it's never shown up again, because it's not good. Enemies have way too much health, and even with EX stats, you're not gonna do millions of damage or even hundreds of thousands of damage with instant skills like this anymore, because most beatdown battles have millions of HP or very close to it. So instant damage is just not strong unless they really, really scale it up 1,000% or something, which I don't think they're gonna do. Diablo getting an alt buff and his magic attack, yeah, it's great. But again, if you're gonna run this Dark Diablo on the anniversary team, Veldora is already giving magic attack. Violet is already giving magic attack from Primal Demons. So it's yeah, they'll help you in a pinch. Basic new players would certainly benefit from these characters being a little bit better. Except that you can't skill fuse them until they're level goddamn 100, which means that no, new players will not be able to benefit from these skill fusions because good luck getting them to level 100. These are not characters that I would tell players to prioritize to dupe out, because they bring nothing to the game and nothing to your team. And if you're running, if you pull tonight for the Primal Demon meta, you get Violet, you get Diablo, you have Misery, And you have, some semblance of other units. Maybe we don't actually know if Jean and Blanc are going to be on the banner. They might. I don't know. But if they are on the banner, like, you're not bringing these three, and you're certainly not duping them out. So it is one of the biggest flaws of this game is restricting skill fusions to maxed out characters, and I have screamed it from mountaintops ever since they announced skill fusions to begin with, and they've yet to do anything with it. It's been in every user survey I've ever put in, and they still don't change it, and I do not understand why. But as for, are their skill fusions decent? Yeah, I think they're fine. It definitely makes them better than what they were, which is all we can hope for skill fusions at this point. Does it make them gods? Hell no. Does it make them better, though? Yes, a little bit, in certain situations, which, is about what most skill fusions do. Make units better in certain situations. And as long as you play to that strength of certain situation, they will help you out a bit more than usual. But none of them are bringing like wide sweeping changes or big time support like I would say that, Dark Milim did. Dark allies, there's a lot of dark units. 25% attack, that's good. That worked for Ainz really well during the Overlord meta because he's dark. No one gave him attack, so Milim could do that. Like Dark Albus, right? The Fount of Wisdom team, if you don't have Shizu, or sorry, not Shizu, but Hinata to give, the attack buff, Dark Milim could help you make Albus a DPS character. I mean, there are options for, certain skill fusion units to get better and help other people. This doesn't really help anyone but themselves because they're doing selfish buffs, more magic attack for himself, guaranteed crits for herself, alt gauge and higher physical attack for himself. They're very selfish buffs. So let me know what you guys think. I will certainly do showcases, especially for Space Rain, because we are in a space physical meta. I will get showcases out on them, in the future for this month. But let me know your thoughts on them. That's it from me. Take it easy, and I will see you all later.